Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you six selections for tomorrow's racing, where I'll be focusing my attentions to Sandown and Wincanton. And it's Sandown we go for my first tip tomorrow, where we're going to go with my next best of the day, a horse here called Gemirande for Charlie Deutsch and Venetia Williams, currently available at 9 to 4. I'm going to recommend a 1 point win bet here. Now, this horse, Gemirande, bolted up last time we saw him when he was an easy winner at Southwell. He made all on that occasion, beat a horse of Dan Skelton's, who's actually subsequently went on to boost the form, winning at Leicester in his next start. That was our jet. I just think there could be a lot more to come from this horse. He did race here in the UK last season, but sometimes I think these horses that are trained in France, it can sometimes take him a year to acclimatise, get used to the style of racing. It is different over here than compared to France. And I just think there could be a bit more to come from him. I did think this was a particularly strong race. If he can get into a good rhythm out on the front end of things, I think he's got every chance of going pretty well. And I think 9-4 isn't a bad price at all. I think the other horses in here, they're exposed and they might not have much more to give, where I think he's still potentially ahead of the handicapper. I think the ground shouldn't pose a problem for him, and I just think there could be more to come. So he's going to be my selection there. We then go with an extra tip, which runs in the 130 at Wincanton. I thought Messire Beaux for Tom Cannon and Alan King in the colours of Simon Munir and Isaac Swade was worth a go here. Currently available at 4 to 1. He's definitely on form, the classiest horse I would have to say in the race. He's a previous graded winner. In fact, he actually won the rearranged Dipper at this venue over the course and distance a couple of years ago. He's always been a little bit of an injury-prone horse, but on his day, he's a very, very good horse. And it's just a shame we never got to see him more over fences. He actually beat Protectorat on that occasion, and he hasn't been seen for a little while. He was last seen finishing third last season behind Lon Presse, but I think if he runs up to that kind of form, off a mark of 140 in this handicap, I think he could be potentially dangerous. Alan King's horses are running well at the moment. They've been amongst the winners of late. And I just think there's a lot to like about him tomorrow. And that's why he is going to be my extra tip in the 130. We then go to my long shot, which runs in the 205 at Wincanton, a horse called Native Robin for Rex Dingle and Jeremy Scott, currently available at 14 to 1. You can get 3 places on this race with SkyBet, so I recommend a 0.5 each way here. This horse, Native Robin, loves Wincanton. He's won on his last 3 visits to the track. And I just think the return to this venue will really suit him. I didn't think it was a particularly strong race on paper, especially towards the top end of the market. We know he's going to handle the track. Conditions should be fine. I know he's getting on a bit now. He's 13, but he's now down to a fair mark. He's only £1 below his last winning mark. And I just think tomorrow there could be a little bit of life left in him and he could maybe spring a surprise. And I think, like I say, you're getting 14 to 1, about 3 places at a venue he absolutely loves. And Rex Dingle coming back aboard is a positive. He was on some of those wins at Wincanton last season. So for me, Native Robin is going to be my long shot of the day. We then have a each way selection, an extra selection in the Tolworth, the 225 at Sandown, Lastro Boy for Adam Wedge and Evan Williams. Interesting runner, this one. Was an impressive winner when he won on his hurdles debut at Foss last. But if you go back the time before that, when he won a bumper at 25 to 1, he actually beat Tamoris quite easily, I thought. And I just think, like I say, there could be easily a lot more to come from this horse. He's currently 12 to 1 at the time recording. He's been quite well backed over the last 24 hours or so. He was as big as 25 to 1. And I just think it's interesting that Evan Williams is running him here. He's normally a trainer that doesn't like to rush his horses. He normally takes his time. So I think that's really interesting that he is coming here. He's won with graded horses at this track before, likes to Stargate, Esprit de Large. So I do think he's a really fascinating contender tomorrow. And for me, I think at 12 to 1, I think he's worth an each way selection. I just think some of the horses at the top of the betting, I've got a feeling 1 or 2 of them might not live up to expectations. And if that's the case, I think he's a bit of value here at 12 to 1 each way. So yeah, especially with that bumper form as well. So that's why he's going to be my selection in the Tolworth hurdle. We then go to the 3 o'clock for the veterans final. I thought Kustar Sivola might be able to have one last day in the sun for Charlie Deutsch and Venetia Williams. Was previously trained by Nick Williams and did good things. If you go back for his form a few years ago, he won the Ultimate Handicap Chase at the Cheltenham Festival in 2018. Kind of lost his way since then, but there was a few glimmers of hope a couple of seasons ago when he finished second behind Dacia Abba over this course and distance. If he can run up to that form, I think he's got a good chance of a mark of 127. I think he just needed the run last time out when he was well beaten at Haydock. Venetia's horses won in the best vein of form. Then they're running better now. I think with a nice low racing weight tomorrow forming some really good stand chases over the years. I think maybe this could be his race, and he is going to be my selection there. We then go to my strongest bet of the day for my last tip, and we go to the last race at Sandown for the 3:35. And my nap of the day is going to be Iceo, currently available 5-1 with William Hill, who are offering 4 places on this race. I'm going to recommend a 1 point each way selection here for Harry Cobden and Paul Nichols. Iceo, I think he's really interesting here, pitched up in a handicap tomorrow. Showed quite a bit of ability last season over hurdles. He won first time out at Kempton when he absolutely bolted up, making all from the front. I think if they deploy the same tactics tomorrow, he might just be able to get away from them, and I think he'll really appreciate the underfoot conditions. I think off Markov 131, that's perfectly fair. He was competing in graded company. He was against the likes of Piper at Cheltenham. I just don't think Cheltenham is his track. But at Kempton, when he went back, he was taking on his elder horses, and he finished 4th behind Orkin Risk, not beaten too far. And I think that was actually quite an encouraging run. So I do think there could be more to come from Iceo. I like these Paul Nichols horses that are juveniles, or they've been taken. They've had their time taken with them. I'm thinking the likes of Samarivi was a horse last season, had a similar kind of profile. Other horses that have gone through the ranks in the past have come up through the handicaps, and I just think he could fit into their mold. He's probably going to be a chaser in time, but I think he's a really interesting horse here. I didn't think it was a particularly strong race. I think 131 is a good mark for him, and Paul Nichols' horses running well. I know they're going to probably have their flu jabs anytime now. I know some of them have. As long as he hasn't had his flu jab, I think 5-1, I think could be a good price there. And yeah, I'm quite sweet on his chances to run a good race. So that's our thoughts then for tomorrow's racing. If you're enjoying these videos, remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe here to the YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. You can follow me on the socials as well, where I'm available on Twitter and on Instagram at LuckyLoader15. Please remember to gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you again soon.